All right, everyone, welcome to One Nation of the 7th, 2025. Excited for my guest that I have on here tonight, and you'll recognize him pretty quickly here. But we have Helias Catholic Jr., Ben Holee, joining us on the program. Ben was the cover of the March-April issue of Sports Locker magazine. Just a great young man. We had a lot of fun with him when we did our photo shoot, and he did an outstanding job on his interview. And this young man is busy. He's got a lot of different things that he does, and we're just excited to get to talk a little bit about him tonight. His article, which you can find at Hy-Vee here in Jefferson City, downtown Book and Toy in Jefferson City, uh, CNR Market in Fulton, and also at Cal's Thriftway in California. Those are some pretty intimidating looking pictures, and I'm really kind of feeling intimidated right now sitting between these two pictures. Like, what am I doing there, right? But check out his article if you happen to be able to get one of the magazines in print. If not, go ahead and go to sportslockermagazine.com and you can pull up the digital copy and make sure that you enjoy that and share that with your friends, and they get to hear a great story from Ben. All right, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go ahead and bring Ben on, and we'll talk to him a little bit about his article and several other things. Hey Ben, how you doing?
Hey,
Good to
good,
have you on. Good to
good.
have you on here. You're doing good. You got Helias Catholic Crusaders shirt on. That's awesome. Um Tell us a little bit about
Yep.
what's been going on with you here this year so far. And we'll start by talking about Sports Locker Magazine. What did you think about your article in that and how it turned out?
I really liked the article. It was really cool. I wasn't expecting to be on the cover, which was a big surprise, but it was a nice one. And I really liked it. Got a lot of copies of it, and I like how they put it all together, and the two pictures on the side with the words in the middle. I thought it
Uh-huh.
looked really good.
So you remember when we did your photo shoot for that? We were up in a particular room, and it was all lighted,
Hmm.
and so I just love how Katie's able to use the flash and to get that dark look behind there, and you would have never known we were up in
Yeah,
that room.
yeah. The lighting was really good. I liked it, and the
what?
shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah, shows off your muscles a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
So, what did your family and friends say about your article?
They liked it. Well, we actually ended up buying. My dad got some the first night they came out, and then the next day at school, I got like 30 copies of them,
Okay.
and so I still need to give a lot out, but I gotten a lot of compliments on it, and a lot of people have read it, and so they liked it and enjoyed it.
Okay. So the question is, have you autographed it for anybody?
I have.
All right.
I
Very
have
cool.
autographed it. Yep.
Very good. So talk about that photo shoot and what the experience was like, because we got you in your baseball uniform as well as wrestling. Just talk a little bit about that and the interaction with Katie, our photographer, and my comedic son-in-law Jay.
It was really good. I really liked them. They were really nice and uh made it easy, Like the lighting was really cool. They had a lot of good ideas for the pictures, and yeah, we made that room work somehow with a bunch of stuff in the background, and they still made it look good. So
Yeah.
it was really good.
Well, you made it. You made it easy, and they really enjoyed. Well, we all enjoyed our time with you, and um, it really makes it a lot easier being able to get creative when you've got somebody that's willing to try different things, and you did a great job. Um, so Jay
Yep.
titled your article "Faith, Family, Focus." What's that mean to you?
Well, I mean, family part, family's been a big part of my whole sports career. I mean, they're always supporting me to like my close family, like my sister and parents, to my grandparents, uncles, and aunts. Um, I mean, they're they're always supporting me. They always are willing to do whatever to get me the best opportunities, and I'm really thankful for them. And then faith. I mean, I think faith plays a big part. Just trusting in God, putting your faith in God. You know, he knows what's gonna happen. He has a plan for you. So just work hard and good things will happen. And then focus. I mean, just focus on the task at hand, what you're doing, one thing at a time, and good things will come.
Yeah. You know, I liked a quote that you had in the article, and it says, "When I face challenges, I offer my stress and pressure to God. I know that whatever happens is all in His hands, and I will give it my very best." So, that that was a really good
Yeah,
quote, and it's a something good to live by.
yeah. My mom always tells me when I get nervous a lot, and she always says when I get nervous, just take a few deep breaths, go got in, been out, and
Okay,
just let it all happen.
good. Well, that's good advice from mom. Mom's got good advice from time to time, right?
Yeah, yeah. I guess.
Yeah, good. Hey, I want to encourage everybody that if you have any comments or if you have questions, feel free to put those in the comment section, and we'd love to hear from you. We're talking to Ben Holee from Helias Catholic High School, and we're excited to have him on here and hear a little bit more about his story. That's why we call it One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra, so we can get a little bit more than what we are able to put into the actual printed articles. So. Uh, Ben, tell us a little bit about what it's been like attending Helias Catholic. What's that experience been like with your faculty and classmates?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, we have a great community. Um, the faculty and staff is great. The all the students are great, and like I said, the community that supports Elias is also awesome. They're always willing to help out, and uh, it's just it's nice, and you can practice your faith, and everyone's just it's a really well built community.
Uh, they've got a lot going on right now as far as some more construction. I know one bit of construction you would like
Yeah,
to see move along pretty quickly is the baseball field, right?
yes, yes. I mean, I hope I can play on it next year, but I won't. Like I said, I won't bet on it just in case. But we'll see. There's a lot of stuff going on, and
Yeah.
it'll be a challenge next year, but it'll all be good.
Yep. It's a great campus, and they're just continuing to make it better. Um,
Yes.
Somebody you talked about in the article was your sister. Why don't you give us a little insight about her and what do you appreciate about her?
Yeah. Donna, she's an awesome sister. She's a big supporter. She works really hard at what she does. She's a really good athlete too, and she always supports me. She pushes me. Like even since we were kids, we've always been competitive towards each other, and we kind of push ourselves to be the best we can and to work hard in everything we do. And she does that. She works hard. She in soccer and basketball, she's done a lot, and she's been a big supporter.
Yeah. So what's the age comparison on you guys?
I'm 17. She is 15.
Okay,
Both
so
have
you
July birthdays.
you are the older brother.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well, hey, we've got a comment from Reese Childs and it says, "Big fan of this guy." So thank you, Reese. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Reese.
So tell us a few more things about your sister. I mean, what are you as an older brother? What are you trying to? I guess you would say mentor her in, or um, just kind of lead by example.
Uh,
Talk.
yeah. I mean, she already does it, but I want to show her by example what working hard will get you. And I mean, she's also done it. She's playing varsity soccer as a freshman, and so she knows what it means to work hard and good things will come. And I'm proud of her and everything she does, and she helps push me to become better at everything I do too.
So what's that like? You were talking about you guys have competition between each other. You play different sports. So how do you what things do you guys compete in?
I mean, it's really everything, even if it's not sports, like a card game, a board game.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but we have a basketball goal, so we used to play basketball a lot and 1v1 stuff like that. We play. I used to play soccer a long time ago, for a few years, so we play soccer. But I mean, recently we've been talking about racing because she thinks she's faster than me. So stuff like that. I mean, just we're always like no matter what we do, and also growing up in the gym that my parents owned. I mean, from a young age we were exercising, working out, always trying to be better than each
Mm-hmm.
other and push each other. So
Yeah.
basically everything we do, we're competitive.
All right. So anytime you guys game night or Thanksgiving, it gets competitive around that household, huh?
Yeah, yep. Especially with a big family at Thanksgiving, we usually get a football game going.
Uh huh.
It's fun.
Okay. Very cool. You also talked about your parents. How have they impacted you in your life, both on and off the playing field?
I mean, they've done it all for me. They work super hard to provide for me and my sister to give us the best opportunities. Um, Allowing us to play the sports we love, and they're always supporting us in any decision we make. If we want to switch sports or pick up this sport or drop one sport, I mean, they're always there for us to always support us, and they've they are probably the two biggest supporters I have, and they've shown me what it takes to work hard and what happens when you work hard. They've been the best example of that for me, and they're also, especially being a student athlete, they push the student part. Student becomes before athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Um, make Making sure I'm getting good grades and getting my work done and
Mm-hmm.
staying ahead.
Uh, so you did great. You segued right into that next question, so you've already got that part. But another thing you talk about in that they've talked about in the article is being humble. So talk about how you work at that because that's a character trait that is very valued. Um, does that just come natural to you, or is it something you have to constantly be aware of?
Uh, no, I mean I don't. I think I think humility is something that everyone has to work on, especially me. I mean, it's hard. Everyone wants attention, you know. Everyone wants to be known for this, be known for that, and I mean, I think my dad is a really good example about being humble. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he always help out, always go the extra mile, but never like seek attention or want
Mm-hmm.
the fame for it, you know. And so I try to be like him, but I think it's a thing that everyone has to work on,
Sure.
and I think it's one of the biggest, the best character traits you could have is being humble,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it shows a lot about your character.
Right. Well, you talk about your faith and the best the best example what we have as far as humility is Christ Himself, and I mean He
Yeah,
humbled Himself as a
yeah,
lowly servant. So absolutely.
yeah.
So what other character traits would you say you picked up from your mom and dad?
Um, Hard work, grit, honesty. You know, they're no matter what it is. I mean, they've always shown me uh, you need to work hard. Like, don't slack off. Don't do the job halfway. And honesty is a big character trait. I mean, if you're not honest, no one wants to be associated with you if you're
Sure.
not honest. Spread spread rumors, lies. So uh, they've taught me a lot about those two things.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so now I'm not going. This is not a curveball, okay, but it is related. Family. Um, Tell us a little. You mentioned earlier about your grandparents, other family members. Any shout outs or anything that you want to say about them?
Oh yeah, so my mom's parents, they live in Wardsville, and they're big supporters. You know, they always bring up the newspaper. If they see me in the newspaper, they'll give it to me. Um, like they're always congratulating. I mean, they have this might be off, like 30, upper 20s, 30s grandchildren, and they still try to make it to all of our sports and athletics, and they're always there supporting. And then my dad's side, who I don't see very often, but because they live in Idaho, and they'll text me and wish me luck and just check up on me, especially with sports, how they're going, and they're always supporting me too. So it's nice having two sides always
Mm-hmm.
supporting you and what you do and are proud of you.
30 grandchildren. That you're right. That's a big group.
Yeah, I I think it's around there because my mom has 9 siblings, so
Okay.
it's a big family. I have lots of cousins.
Yeah. And you know what? And I bet you that every one of you feel like you're their favorite. So that
Oh
when
yeah,
grandparents do that to where they
they
make you
make
feel like the favorite. Very good.
they make everyone feel special. Yep.
Awesome. Outside of your family, who are your role models and why?
Um, I was thinking about this one. You know, a lot of my coaches have been big role models for me. They, especially Coach Arnell and Coach Pick. Um, they're one of my wrestling coaches. They're both wrestling coaches and football coaches. But not only that, like they build really close relationships with like their guys, and I build a close relationship with them. And they're always there to support you. They always push you to be the best you can be. And I know Coach Pick is a great dad and great husband, and Coach Arnell, I really look up to him. He's military, works hard. He's a really humble guy, and I want to strive to be them.
Very good. Very good. Well, we'll get into talking about them a little bit more when we start the second segment. So, you've done a good job. We've flown through this first part. We'll go
Yeah,
ahead and take a quick sponsor break, and then we will come back and talk some more. Thank you. And do like your mom said. Take the breath in and take it out.
yeah.
All right. We'll be right back.
Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, a sponsor of this program. We greatly appreciate everything that they do, not only for One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra, but Sports Locker Magazine as well as in the Mid-Missouri community. Not only are they great volunteers and involved in a lot of different things like Redemption Inside the Walls, bringing that to Jefferson City, and just even a couple of weekends ago where they had Redemption Junior, a great gathering for young kids for a Slugs and Bugs concert. I was out of town at that time, but I heard they had a great time, saw a lot of good pictures, and they're just heavily involved in the community. Also, if somebody needs a job, they are a great resource to be able to help find a job, as well as an employer looking for people to fill those positions. They do it on both sides. They bring people together and get a good fit so that people are able to have outstanding employees and employees are able to find great jobs. So we appreciate CNS Employment Solutions. Also, our other sponsor is Big Whiskeys, and they represent well, they present our coach of the issue each and every time we come out with Sports Locker magazine. And this time they are giving a shout out to Coach Kenny Gones over in California. We really appreciate this sponsorship too. Just giving a shout out to the coaches, just like Ben was talking about a little bit ago, and we'll get into it a little bit more after this. But man, all of the hard work that our coaches put in, and the time spent away from their families, and just everything that they do, mentoring, teaching, leading, all those things. We appreciate our coaches here in Mid-Missouri, and we want to give a shout out and a thank you to Big Whiskeys for doing that. All right, well, we've been talking to Ben Holee, and we are going to get into the second part of this interview. All right, Ben, how you doing?
Good.
Good. You're still here. You didn't hang up on me. That's a good thing.
Yep.
All right. So we talked a little bit about this. You were mentioning your coaches. Why don't you talk about your coaches in the different sports and what kind of an impact they've made for you?
Yeah. So I mean, I've played for a lot of coaches. Football, wrestling, baseball, soccer a long time ago, all the sports I've played in. Like I said earlier, Coach Pick and Coach Arnell, they've been really big role models for me. Always putting in time to make us better, taking time out of their schedules and busy lives to help us be better athletes and humans in general. And my travel ball coach, Coach Berger, he takes a lot of time out of his schedule. I mean, he has a full-time job, and he still takes time to work with all of my team, my travel ball team, it could be team practices or individual lessons. I mean, through the month of June and first month of July, every weekend we're on a tournament, and so he's leaving his daughter and wife behind a lot, and he takes a lot of time out for us to get us become the best we can be. And he also helps with recruiting a lot for colleges and stuff like that. So big thanks to them.
So you mentioned that. So that process, has that already begun? Starting to look at different places?
Yeah. Starting more, especially during the summer ball season with my team. We have a guy who helps us get out there to colleges and show them our stuff and help us start kind of break the barrier, help us start communicating with colleges we are interested in, or they're interested in us. So I mean, yeah, our travel ball team and organization plays a big role in that, and they have a lot of guys who help us out with that aspect of it.
So when you're talking about travel ball, what's the furthest place, or let's say what's the favorite place that you've traveled to as far as being able to play?
We traveled to Omaha, and that was a really fun tournament. That was 3 years ago, though, so it was quite a while ago. But I mean, recently we've kind of stayed in Missouri. We go to a lot of Kansas City, like Perfect Game, showcase tournaments, and then in St. Louis sometimes. But I would say Omaha was the most fun. It was probably I think that was the farthest we've gone. Wait, I can't remember. But I remember that was a really fun tournament, just being with your team, being with the guys at the hotel, playing, nice complexes, stuff like that. So that was really fun.
Well, I shared with you before we started the program that, we just got done moving our photographer and her husband and my grandkids from Colorado to Iowa. And as we were driving through the mountains, we went through Loveland, Colorado, and that brought back memories because I had played 2 baseball tournaments there when I was in high school, and so that was the furthest that we had gone. But I was driving through there, and just like I remember that we stayed with the host family all week and just had a lot of fun while we were there. Um, that recruiting um, can make it pretty difficult to make decisions as far as you're not only looking at the sport but you're also looking at your education and the things that you're wanting to do. Have you started thinking about what you're wanting to do as far as furthering your education? What do you want to study? Have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot. Still deciding. I've thought a lot about engineering,
Mm-hmm.
like a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, and I mean they're kind of two. The things I've been juggling are kind of two complete opposites. But I've also thought about physical therapy,
Uh huh.
going into that field, and so I'm still deciding. I'm thinking about I'll probably start shadowing some job or like some people that work in those positions and jobs, see what I think I would enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
and go from there.
Well, this kind of segues again into this next question. What have been some of the challenges for you during your high school career? And I know you had an injury that you had to deal with. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I'd say the biggest challenge is playing three sports. You know, you can only you really only playing you're only practicing the sport while you're playing usually. So I mean, wrestling, I'm only wrestling 3 months out of the year. Like right after football season, I'm wrestling to in the wrestling season, I'm right into baseball. So when you think about like off season work, that can be kind of difficult, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard. Like during football season, I was going to during football and wrestling season every weekend. I would go with my travel ball coach and get some practice with him, lessons, just to like keep myself going. You know, like not
Mm-hmm.
just completely drop baseball and then have to pick all of it back up. You
Right.
know, so that's the biggest challenge is not being able to do as much off season work as you would like.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a greater challenge during the season when some other guys have been off doing off season work for a few months now, and you're just got done with last sport and hopping
Right.
right into this sport. So that could be a big challenge. But then yeah, you mentioned the injury in football. So second game of the year, Hickman kind of sucked. I got hit pretty hard. Went unconscious for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and they were the trainers and stuff were checking me on me and my like what I originally was hurting was my neck, like my
Uh-huh.
spine, because I think my head whipped back
Mm-hmm.
and my spine is what was hurting. And then what kind of scared them and the main reason I went to the hospital is for a while, like after a little bit, my left side of my body was going numb, like it was
Mm-hmm.
tingling, and so out of precaution, you know, they had to
Sure.
take me to MU and make sure everything was good. So thankfully, the only thing that I got from that was a pretty severe concussion, but I mean that was best case scenario out of that.
Yeah.
And so I mean it was challenging. I mean second game of the year, you're already out, and I forgot how long I was out. I think I was back. I think my first JC, I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that was about 4 weeks. 4 weeks later, something around there. I don't really remember,
Yeah.
but I mean it was hard. I mean school was kind of hard. It was hard to like focus and when it was, especially like at lunch and stuff. It was loud and that is what make your head hurt and
Mm-hmm.
it was just hard to get back into it. Like I every time I would move fast or run for a while or like even jog,
Yeah.
my head would hurt. Sometimes even walking from school to the stadium, my head would hurt. But you know it was I our trainer Kelsey, she was super helpful and
Mm-hmm.
she helped me fast recovery and good recovery, and so I was able to get back into it. And before the, I think yeah, about 3 games before postseason, so
Mm-hmm.
it was all good.
Well, JC obviously was a good game to come back for, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. A
yeah,
lot of people don't understand, concussion. You don't really think about it, but I mean, if your brain's getting jogged inside of your head, um,
yeah.
there's a lot of different things going on in there that just going to take a little bit of time. And just like what you were saying, different movements or jarring or things like that. I mean, you're feeling every bit of that.
Yeah, I noticed, especially like every practice when I'd be in the training room
Mm-hmm.
doing exercises, like moving my eyes at first would cause some headaches and like multitasking. So for a
Yeah.
while when I started getting better with my eyes and stuff, she like bounce me a tennis ball and I'd be like bouncing on one foot, so I was trying to
Mm-hmm.
do two things at once. And at first for a while that was difficult, but I mean it's kind of crazy how like just multitasking, which you do every day,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, it could cause a headache, you know. So
Well, I would say
it
even
was
without
it
a
was crazy,
concussion, it
but
might be hard for some of us to be able to stand on one leg and try to catch a tennis ball. So
yeah,
take the
yeah,
concussion
yeah.
out; it doesn't
But
matter.
I mean, yeah, but it was good. It was all good. She helped fast recovery, and I got to be back. Another
Yeah.
challenge was probably the mental side of it. You know, I mean, you don't want to admit it, but you're kind of scared going back. You know what I mean?
Sure.
After taking a big hit, it was
Absolutely.
I was debating a lot of because if I play timid or scared, that just gives me a higher risk of injury.
Right.
So
Right.
I had to make sure I was 100% ready and that I was confident in myself
Mm-hmm.
before I got back out there. So
Well, you mentioned Kelsey, and what about the other people helping you? What do you appreciate about the time that they put in and what they do for you and your teammates?
oh yeah, so Kelsey, she is a great trainer. I mean, she puts in a lot of work, and she has her own battles too. Her husband is uh, suffering with leukemia, and so it's hard to, but she still is always there for us and supporting us as well as her husband. And she was just a great help. And then also the nurse, the school nurse, like she would pull me out of class, or I could, if I wasn't feeling, I could just go to her office and lay down for a little bit and get back to normal. Like I ate lunch up there a few times,
Mm-hmm.
and the coaches were really good about it and not pushing me to like rush myself and
Mm-hmm.
making sure I was 100% before I came back. And they were really supportive of me then too.
Good. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the different sports individually. How did this recent season go for you in wrestling, and were you able to achieve some of the goals you set for yourself?
So yeah, overall wasn't what I had hoped, but like I said earlier, it's difficult when I'm only wrestling during wrestling season. I'm not. I don't wrestle. I haven't wrestled too much before, and it's hard. But I mean, I gave it my all, worked hard, and I'm in a pretty decent weight class, and I put it all out there every time, but sometimes I fell a little short, but it was all good.
What was a highlight for this last year in your wrestling season?
Um, I'm not sure. Oh, I know. I was losing to a kid that I beat me last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I was losing to him. Was it 14-3 in the third period? And I came back and pinned him with like 30 seconds left,
Wow.
losing down 14-3.
Well,
So
obviously he
that
didn't see
that
that
that would
coming.
probably been my highlight.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
He's like, I got this in the
yeah,
bag, and the next thing he's boom, boom, boom.
yeah, yep, yep.
Very good.
That would probably be my favorite moment.
That would be a good one. Now let's talk about football. You know, you had the injury, but what was your highlight for football this last year?
Football definitely be semifinal game against Lafayette, game to go state. We weren't playing too good. Offense wasn't doing too hot. Our defense was playing good, but we had like 4 turnovers that game, I think, and we weren't going too hot, and we were down. I think we were down. What was it? 13-0 or was it 13-7? No, I think we were down. I can't remember. But anyways, we were down. We weren't doing too good, and Lafayette just got the ball. We were on defense, and I got an interception on our side of the field, and that put ourselves on like the 30-40 yard line going in, and I think it was next play or in 2 plays we threw a touchdown, which I feel like was a really big momentum swing.
Absolutely.
And really helped us, especially going into half. It was right before halftime. We needed that boost of energy and morale to get us going, and then we ended up winning that game by 1 point.
Yeah, that's good. So tell everybody what positions you play in football.
I'm running back and outside linebacker.
Okay.
So our outside linebackers, I'm a Sam, so strong side, and we're more of I think we're more of a pass first player in our defense. We cover the slots most of the time, and we're kind of like a hybrid. We play run and pass, but we're more heavy pass than most linebackers. You know what I mean?
Okay. And so your sister still thinks she can beat you in a foot race. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what she's thinking. I'll give it to her. She's fast, but
yeah. You just keep thinking that until we get out there.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a little bit of smack talk, so.
Yeah, I bet. That's awesome. Let's now talk about baseball and what you enjoy about that, and what are your goals for this year?
So yeah, I want to play baseball in college. Like that's my goal, and so especially junior season coming in, I want to start getting noticed by some colleges and start looking at some colleges that I'd like to play at, and really just get noticed and get out there and kind of put my name on the map.
And you play shortstop. Do you play any other positions?
I mean, I can really play anywhere. I can play second. I played third a little bit. I could probably play outfield if they needed me to, which they've asked about. But
you love shortstop like I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I shortstop's my favorite. Shortstop's the best, and I also do pitch sometimes, but I haven't been pitching as much lately. But I want to get back on that, especially for summer ball because we all got to pitch.
Yeah. This is just as a side note, just a question. So, arm speed, have you been able to clock that as far as about what that's at?
Pitching, I haven't clocked this year pitching. Last year, I think I hit an 82 pitching, and then I think infield velocity was like 80.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so hoping to get that up.
Yeah. That's you're talking about 3 sports and how difficult it is transitioning from one to the other. I did football, basketball, baseball, and track. I did that year round from when I was in 6th grade all the way through when I was a senior. And we did not have high school baseball. I would have loved it if we would have had high school baseball, and then I would have put track to the side. But because that was my favorite sport. And I went I played a college for a year, and then I went to 2 tryout camps, one with the Reds, one with the Royals. And I mean, there's like 220, 230 guys were at each one of those camps. And, I'm out there, me and my friends were out there in our t-shirts and our shorts. And then you see all these guys, older guys, walking around with the bat bags. They had their full uniforms and doing all this different kind of stuff. And you're like, what is going on? And so obviously they had been doing this for a very long time. And I got out there, and my arm speed from shortstop was not where it needed to be. I felt like I did great in everything else, but they were wanting me to be able to throw 90 miles an hour from there, and I wasn't close to that. I was like 70, 75, 76. So anyway, that was something to work on, definitely. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I know Coach Wyrick.
Tie back in the.
Yeah, I know Coach Wyrick. He went on to play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He just resigned coaching last year, so we have Coach Fick now this year, and so I played with I really played with Coach Wyrick for 1 year because freshman year we had a different coach for freshmen, so. But our sophomore year, we practiced with like Coach Wyrick and stuff. So I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I could remember when we first moved here, and people were telling me about him, and then of course I got to see him through the Sports Locker and stuff. So, just keep working on it and shoot for that dream. It was a lot of fun, even though I did, didn't move on when I went to those tryout camps. It was pretty crazy. Out of all those people, they selected one person. Both camps, one person.
Really?
Yeah, they were looking for, and they were already looking for who it was. They already had an idea of who they were looking for. One was a catcher, and I think the other one was a pitcher. So, but it was fun.
Yeah.
But I realized very quickly, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. That was good. Talk to us a little bit about getting started at a younger age. What really kicked you into the love for competition?
Well, first off, I mean, I always watched football, baseball growing up. Everyone when you're a kid, you want to be that star quarterback in the NFL or that star shortstop in the MLB. So I had those dreams, of course. And my parents also were really supportive, and they wanted me to be active and play sports and just be healthy and always moving, and also, like I said earlier, the gym, that played a big role in being into sports and being competitive. And I'm always, like, they taught me at a young age like nutrition, health, exercise, keeping the body in the best shape possible. And, sports helps you keep your body in the best shape. And so I'd say just watching sports on TV and the gym really started my love for sports.
Okay. So, what are your favorite teams in the different sports?
Chiefs, Cardinals. Cardinals. They always find a way to make you mad, But I mean, I just recently went to my first Chiefs game though, in person, but a long time ago when the Rams used to be in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. Kurt Warner.
Me and my dad went to me and my dad went to Seahawks and Rams game, which was fun to watch.
Yeah.
I used to love Russell Wilson too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Back in his prime.
Yeah, right. That's what happens is we lose our prime. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
We lose our hair and then we lose our prime. I don't know what it is. You've got good hair though. You'll keep that. It'll be good.
Hopefully, I don't know.
So So it was interesting. You mentioned the Cardinals. It was kind of fun, and this has been a couple years back. I was able to interview kind of one of my role models through playing baseball. I was able to interview Ozzie Smith on here, and that was pretty cool. Getting to be able to talk with him.
That's really cool.
Oh yeah, he was amazing.
What?
I tried to model myself after him, and probably even longer than what I should have. Playing rec softball and diving for balls and stuff like that. And my wife was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I know."
Yeah.
And come home all sore for the next 3-4 days after a tournament. Yeah. Time to give up some of that
That's cool.
stuff.
What he had
Yeah.
to say.
Oh, we got to talk about a lot of different things. He, of course, talked about his career. Talked about some key moments in games like World Series, stuff like that. So it was just kind of fun. We just had a good conversation back and forth. Actually, if you ever want to look it up on our YouTube page, you can go to that. And I've got, goodness, probably close to 240, 250 videos in there, and his interviews in there. So that and Neil Smith from the Chiefs and Kimball Anders from the Chiefs and a couple other guys. So yeah,
Man, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. What? So is there anything right now at this moment that you could say that you're wanting to change? You want to do differently? Because some people look back over their career and they say, if I could have done something differently, this is what it would be. Is there anything right now that you're trying to work on?
Well, for one, so I think it was mentioned in the article a long time ago, like second, third grade, I think one of the two. I wrestled, and my mom's side of the family, big wrestling family, but I guess I didn't enjoy it, and so I quit, and then I started back up freshman year. So one thing I probably regret is quitting wrestling, because I mean, being good at wrestling is just I feel like if you're a good wrestler, just I don't know, you just seem tough, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of wish I stuck with wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean I love baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely my favorite. Another thing, kind of like on the mental side of it, uh, just kind of especially playing through sports, like looking past things or not living in the present. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like looking on past to baseball when I'm in wrestling, or looking into football when I'm in baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just enjoying what I'm doing right now and put all my effort into that.
Sure. Well, and that's good. I mean, with another year left, you can definitely be putting that into practice right now, and trying to enjoy the
Yeah.
moment in each one of them. That's good.
Yep.
So you talked about wrestling. A lot of times talk about cutting weight, but you as a 3-sport athlete, I'm sure you don't really gain weight a whole bunch. You're going from one to the other, and has that been difficult at
Well,
all?
yeah. So, this year this past year for wrestling was probably my biggest weight cut. It was difficult. Just kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Always hungry, never feeling energized. But
Yeah.
that's another thing. Like I was, I'm cutting weight and not necessarily getting weaker, but not getting any stronger by
Mm-hmm.
cutting this weight, and like that leads into baseball season. So after wrestling season, I'm like usually weaker, not as strong, not as big,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to baseball where I want to be bigger. So like this year, I gained like 20-25 pounds that
Okay.
first week after wrestling. Because I was wrestling 144,
Okay.
and then now I'm 165. So
Okay. Is that the weight that you're most
uh,
comfortable at?
I mean, if I could, I would have wrestled 150.
Mm-hmm.
But for the team, our 150 can't cut weight because of diabetes.
Uh-huh.
So to get a full roster, they needed me to get down to 144.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it mostly for the team. I cut down there, but wasn't really enjoyable. I mean, I think I
Sure.
could have done just fine at 150.
Yeah.
Probably about the same. They're both really solid. I mean, all those middleweights from 138, I'd say, to 150, 157, they're all really stacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the wrestler weight class.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
that's
was
pretty
hard.
admirable that you did that for the team. So that's a lot of weight loss right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me.
But that's a difficult thing going from sport to sport, especially with wrestling and fluctuating weight. Because I mean, I want to be big and I want to be the biggest and strongest I can be for baseball and football.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got to do what you got to do for wrestling. So
Sure. Very good. Well, we've only got a couple questions left, but you did mention faith in your article. How has that shaped you?
I mean, I think it's played a big role in my life. My parents wanted me and my sister to grow up in a faith based life. So we went to a Catholic grade school and middle school, Immaculate Conception, here in Jeff City, and then now we're at Helias, so we can live out our Catholic faith and go to mass every Sunday. Um, and I think it allows you to put your trust into something like that. All your work and all your time that you put in will go like it'll all pay off. Like you trust God that everything will work out, and you just got to do what you got to do, and He's got a plan for you. So
Very good. Very good. Well, actually, the last question you've already answered before, so we'll just move on from that. And what I want to do real quick is I want to ask you a couple speed round questions. These won't take long, but these are just some fun questions to ask you to get a little bit of insight into you. What is your favorite go-to snack or meal after you get done with either a match or a game?
well, for a wrestling match, it would be the Italian from Jersey Mike's
Mm-hmm.
or Pancheros. One
Okay.
of the two, because I mean, after wrestling, you're super hungry, you want to eat. After a baseball game, I don't know, I always go somewhere different, but after football, ice cream probably.
Ice
I
cream.
love ice cream.
What kind of ice cream do
Yeah,
you like?
extreme moose tracks.
Is there a
If
particular
I'm eating
place?
at my house,
Uh-huh.
well, I mean, usually we'll get like a half gallon, to eat at home. But then I love Andy's. It's
Uh-huh.
probably my
Okay.
favorite in Columbia. We need an Andy's in Jeff City though.
Okay.
We don't have one.
Well, we've slowed down on our ice cream consumption just because we were eating it too much. But my wife and I, we both liked Cold Stone, and we had a specific ice cream that we liked. Mine was mocha with maraschino cherries and pecans mixed in there. And it was pretty funny. Anytime you'd
Mm.
walk in there, they were just basically, they already knew what we wanted. They just wanted to know what size it was. And I thought, you know what? We've obviously been here too much.
Yeah,
When they know
that's
when
funny.
several of them know what you're going to get, you've been there too much. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, a couple more questions. If there's anywhere in the world you could go, where would that be and why?
Uh, Probably anywhere out of the country. Mexico, maybe.
Okay.
I've never been out of the country, and or the Dominican Republic. Just I know there's some crazy baseball players,
Uh-huh.
that are all down there and that you never really see until they go to the league, you guess,
Right, right.
but I know there's some crazy baseball there.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so this is the last one, and this is probably the most important one, that we all need to know. What is your least favorite chore to do around the house and why? Remember, mom's watching.
Mm, yeah. um, split it. Probably washing dishes. Everything else isn't that bad. I feel I kind of enjoy cleaning, but washing dishes is just a pain, I guess.
Is it, you would say, monotonous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else isn't bad. I mean, I guess I'm weird. I kind of enjoy cleaning. I just like the feeling of the space being clean afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that is unusual for a teenager, and so good job.
Yeah.
Your parents have done well. I don't know if I could say that. I don't know if I could say that's the fact for all my grandchildren, but there's hope for them yet. I'll just tell them to watch this interview and hear what Ben had to say. So, all right.
Yep.
Well, Ben, you've done an outstanding job. Is there any final comment that you want to make before we close out the program?
Yeah, I also wanted to say I remember you. I meant to say this earlier too. Talking about family and grandparents. Not really my. I mean, it's not my family, but my girlfriend's family and her grandparents have also been really supportive. And like I get probably 5 newspapers every time I see them from like football or baseball being in the newspaper. They always keep them, and so I always appreciate their support too. They do a lot.
Well, very good, very good. I want to have you hold on. You've done an outstanding job. I'm just going to have you hold on after I close out the program. I got a quick visit with you here after this, but I just want to say I appreciate everybody joining us tonight, and you did an outstanding job. So I'll be with you in just a moment.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. This has been One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra with Helias Catholic Jr., Ben Holee, 3-sport athlete, extremely busy, extremely dedicated. He's focused on his faith, his family, and he's just absolutely an outstanding young man. So if you came in late, make sure you jump to the front and watch the rest of this program. All right. Thank you again. This has been your host, Kirk DeMars, on One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. Until next week, God bless you, and we will see you then.